Ashton Abbey, and that's it. They're all in for the Marlborough Nursery. Sound the trumpet well away towards the left of the picture, and Astral Invader in the center with Most Uppity showing very good speed too. Astral Invader in the center of the picture, Most Uppity over on the far side. Between horses, Caddy's first. Towards the near side, running fast is In Love Again. Over on the far side, Most Uppity, but on the near side, it's In Love Again, the leader. In Love Again from Astral Invader. Rosebud is moving up into a challenging position, but it's still In Love Again, and John Stack claiming the 5-pound allowance, coming down to the 2-furlong pole. In Love Again, Pellerman moving into second, Rosebud third over on the far side, Astral Invader losing ground, and Sound the Trumpet looks out of it as they race down towards the furlong pole, and it's In Love Again. In Love Again, and John Stack is clear at the moment from Rosebud and Pellerman. Pellerman and Rosebud fighting out for second at the moment, but as they race into the closing stages, it's In Love Again, racing up towards the line. In Love Again, well clear as they come to the line in the Marlborough Nursery. In Love Again is the winner. Astral Invader runs on to be second ahead of Pellerman third, and 4 was Rosebud. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the opener here at Newbury this afternoon, the Marlborough Nursery. First, number 2, In Love Again, owned by Mr. Henry Ponsonby, or rather Henry heads the syndicate, owns the horse, trained by Mick Channon, his 70th winner of the season, and ridden by John Stack. Second was number 4, Astral Invader, owned by Mr. R.F. Kelly, trained by Malcolm Saunders and ridden by Nicky Adams. And third, number 3, Pellerman, owned by Mr. M. Berger, trained by Ron Boss and ridden by Pat Edery, with fourth, number 5, Rosebud. This is the winner. In Love Again by Prince Rupert, out of Beloved Mistress by Rarity.
Winner in the gimcrack until he was touched off by Chilly Billy, and before that, as we saw, he was very unlucky against Three Peak and Goodwood.
Just wondering, Julian, whether he's going to like this dead ground. A lot of his good form, nearly all of his good form, has been on quite fast ground. He's a little bit of a character there, as you can see. He's just not quite happy with himself there, tossing his head around, but...
Out of a Nereith mare. She looks in terrific shape today, considering it's been a pretty cold week. She's very fast. She needs to be covered up and ridden from off the pace, and Walter Swinburne did this superbly at Royal Ascot. 10-1 Ibis and Brave Music, 12-1 an interesting Springer Inzar from 16-1 Paul Cole's other runner, 14-1 Great Bear, and 25 Midwich Cuckoo. This is Princely Hush, horse who goes really well on soft ground. He looked a very, very useful horse indeed in the spring up to Royal Ascot, where he finished 4th in the Norfolk Stakes. Then he had a break and he reappeared behind Art of War in the Cyrenia Stakes at Kempton a couple of weeks ago. Finished 4th there, beaten 3 lengths by the winner.
Michael Bell said that he needed that run, Julian, on that occasion, because in the Norfolk Stakes, when he was 4th behind Mind Game, in fact, he jarred himself up quite badly, and he took a little bit of time to get over that. I think now back onto this easier ground, I could see Princely Hush running quite a big race today.
Good judge of his 2-year-olds, Michael. If he thinks this horse will run well, he'll run well. Now, here's the Springer in the dark green colours of Prince Fahd Salman, Inzar. This is his first run since March. He was a 7-length winner at Brighton, and, well, it's a long gap since then, but interesting to see support for him, and he's a big fine horse by Warning out of a Northern Dancer mare.
You say, Julian, it's a job to assess on the book, but what I would rather go on is that Richard Quinn, who usually rides Prince Fahd Salman's horses, has chose to ride Brave Music in the race, and so Tony Clark's coming for the ride on Inzar. So perhaps that's a little bit of a guider, but there you are, they're both running on their merits. As Julian was saying, he's a nice big horse, but he does look like that a little bit of time might suit him. He's a little bit on the narrow side when you follow him behind.
Another horse who's got good form is number 3, Great Bear. He went to France for his last run. He finished 5th in a listed race at Deauville, won by Pennycamp, and Pennycamp came out and won the Prix de la Salamandre at Longchamp last weekend. Before that, he was 4th in the Moulcombe, just ahead behind Brave Music, so he's not far behind the best on form here.
A nice looking gelding by Dominion, and Leicester in the saddle. I looked at him walking around the paddock. He's got a drop nose band on, and I think that he does take a bit of a grip, this horse, but Leicester took him down nice and quietly, kept his head over the rail, and well, you see Paul Edery just blotted our vision out, but now you can see that drop nose band on Great Bear.
So another fascinating race for the jackpot punters. They had a good result in the first race. The morning favourite won the first, so there'll be plenty still in this big jackpot. But it's difficult to go into this race without 3 or 4 choices, I dare say. That's one of the last in. Let's join Peter.
That's it. Princely Hush nearest to us, towards the left as we see them. Under orders, and they're away. And quite a steady pace in the early stages too. A very, very steady pace with Moon King just dictating it from the hard-pulling Inzar towards the left. Over on the right, Iblis with the sheepskin noseband taking a big tug is Brave Music just in behind the lead. But going very, very steady. They're determined to get home in this soft ground with Moon King, the leader, from Iblis on the far side. The outsider of the party of the 9-horse field, Midwich Cuckoo, is just between horses, and coming up Princely Hush to join him quite quickly. And Princely Hush, in fact, comes to dispute it now with Moon King. Princely Hush towards the left of the picture. Moon King is in the center. Midwich Cuckoo still in contention. Over on the far side, Iblis producing a good run. The sheepskin noseband towards the right as they pass the 2 furlong pole. Moon King in the center. Midwich Cuckoo. Iblis losing ground now. Coming there to join him is Brave Music, or trying to. Princely Hush there, the leader, as they hit the furlong marker. Princely Hush, the leader. Gay Galanta is putting in a good run, and so is Fallow towards the near side. It's Princely Hush from Fallow now as they race into the closing stages. Princely Hush from Fallow. Fallow improving all the time, but Princely Hush going to hold him. And at the line, Princely Hush the winner, Fallow is second, and Gay Galanta third, and 4 was Inzar. That was the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Rokeby Farms Mill Reef Stakes, with the winner number 8. Princely Hush, owned by Mr. P.A. Phillips, trained by Michael Bell, his 50th winner of the season, and ridden by Michael Fenton. Second was number 2, Fallow, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, trained by David Lodo and ridden by Frankie Dettori. And third, number 9, Gay Galanta, owned by Cheveley Park Stud, trained by Michael Stout and ridden by Pat Every, with fourth, number 5, Inzar.
As they race up to the line, Beechcroft punched out by Michael Canaan, wins the Ledgers.
So that'll be something to look forward to.
Punched out by Michael Canaan, wins the Ledgers.
So that'll be something to look forward to later on, but things have already started here at Ayr. First race is at 1:55. It was the EBF Top Flight Leisure Maiden Stakes over a mile. A field of 13 comprising backward sorts, lightly raced sorts. A clear favourite on form from those that are run was Playing for Time, who started odds on. Here's a full shot.
Playing for Time, the 6-5 on favourite. Magical Blues 6-1. Glengarnock a 10-1 chance along with Youth. Pinkerton's Pet at 12. Royal York 14-1. They went 16-1 for theirs.
So they're turning to the home straight. The yellow colours of Yush, very prominent indeed. The spotted colours is Conroy of Dancer. Further right, Celebration Cake. They come down the home run. Royal York in the check colours is coming strongly. And the favourite Playing for Time is just being pushed along and trying to get a position. Down Mr. Bailey's at the top of the picture is coming with a run. Magical Blues isn't out of it either. They've got just over 2 furlongs to go. It's Yush in the lead. On the left is Royal York as we look at them. On the right with the red cap, Celebration Cake. Playing for Time gets the split now and charges through. Magical Blues tries to follow him through. They're inside the final furlong. Yellow Jacket Yush is keeping up the gallop of the line, Playing for Time. On the top of the picture, he's putting in a big challenge. Back in third place, Royal York. And as they drive to the line, Playing for Time lifted. Playing for Time on the line from Yush. Back in third, Royal York. In the Yellow Jacket racing fast. Look at this. They're all tacking down the centre of the track, or at least they're heading that way. Bridge of Fire and the White Sleeve Jacket took a very keen hold going down at the start and certainly tries to come and share the pace. But it's Fishy Affair on the right, the horse with the noseband, sharing the pace with Bridge of Fire. Back in third, here comes Risky. Followed through in blue and yellow, Stolen Kiss. Yellow Jacket, Corio. And then in the red sleeve jacket, another Nightmare. Siman, the yellow cap on the extreme left of the picture. Cumbria Minstrel tries to follow the leaders through. And Silver Thatching is towards the rear at this stage. They're past the halfway point, and it's Fishy Affair who has it. From Here Comes Risky in second, Fishy Affair, Here Comes Risky, Bridge of Fire, Corio in yellow. Cumbrian Minstrel gets it closer on the top of the picture, and just off the pace is Stolen Kiss looking for room. They've got a furlong and a half to go, and in the red cap, it's Here Comes Whiskey, who's come to take it from Corio, the stand side. Bridge of Fire getting the split now, and coming with a run is Silver Thatching with the white blinkers. Here Comes Whiskey driving to the line from Silver Thatching in second place. Cumbrian Minstrel is back in third. That looks like being the 1, 2, 3. And Here Comes Whiskey taking Jason Weaver to a winning start here. And it's Here Comes Whiskey who is the winner. Cumbrian Minstrel second, back in third Silver Thatching. Very close and four between Stolen Kiss and Corio, and they're clear of Fishy Affair. Bridge of Fire, Simand in the end beat one, and that was Another Nightmare, who got a little bit restless in the stalls. The result then of this, the Dalblair of Ayr Ford Nursery. Here Comes Whiskey, the 11-4 favourite, has prevailed in the colours of Mrs. Margaret Pett, trained by Mark Johnson, ridden by Jason Weaver, 167 of the season for him. Second horse home is Cumbrian Minstrel on the extreme right of the...
Counter orders, and they're away. John's Act and Al Jazaf going on from John's Act and Sherman, and Linpack West nearest to us, and then comes Arctic Thunder. Back marker at the moment is Sea Baron, and Al Jazaf and Richard Quinn making it. Al Jazaf from Linpack West and John's Act. Just in behind them, Arctic Thunder. Al Jazaf by a couple of lengths now from Linpack West, then Sherman and John's Act, and Arctic Thunder. Behind them, Sea Baron has made 2 or 3 places. Comes Deer Hunt, and just the back marker, Green Crusader. Al Jazaf from Linpack West, the 3 times course winner. Over on the far side, Sherman. On the near side is John's Act. Then Arctic Thunder. The outside of Arctic Thunder is Sea Baron. Racing into the home turn now in the courage-rated handicap. Al Jazaf running for the first time for Reg Akehurst, still the leader from Linpack West. Getting closer all the time on the far rail is Green Crusader, traveling well, and on the near side traveling well is Arctic Thunder. It's still Al Jazaf from Linpack West. Arctic Thunder towards the left. Green Crusader looking for room now as they run down to the 2 furlong marker. Al Jazaf from Linpack West. Green Crusader. Arctic Thunder is under pressure inside the final 2. Al Jazaf. Al Jazaf now being challenged by Green Crusader, and here comes Deer Hunt on the near side. Green Crusader's taken it up now from Deer Hunt. Green Crusader it is from Deer Hunt on the near side. Green Crusader from Deer Hunt inside the final 150 yards. Green Crusader from Deer Hunt. Deer Hunt still challenging, but Green Crusader going to hold them all on at the line. Green Crusader was the winner. Deer Hunt is second. Al Jazaf is third. And then came Sherman, and behind them John's Act, and last in fact was Sea Baron. And so the result of the courage-rated handicap is first, number 6, Green Crusader, owned by Cheveley Park Stud, trained by Michael Stout, who won this back in '84 with Miss St. Cloud, and ridden by Paul Eddery. Second was number 3, the Cambridgeshire entry, Deer Hunt, owned by Mrs. P.J. Makin, trained by Peter Makin and ridden by Pat Eddery. And third was number 2, Al Jazaf, owned by Mr. R.N.C. Lynch, trained by Reg Akehurst and ridden by Richard Quinn, with fourth, number 8, Sherman.
Award for consistency and a beautiful ride by Paul Eddery. Looked for a moment as though Paul might be in trouble, following Richard Quinn. Frankie Dettori on his outside and Linpack West. Where was the gap going to come? But gradually it did come. Linpack West just drifted a little bit away from the rails as he weakened, and Paul got through. Now the danger was coming from his brother Pat on the Cambridgeshire entry, Deer Hunt, who was well off the pace early on, but when...
4 to 6, 6 to 4 on Desert Style, going for win number 3 out of 4 runs. Number 3 is Elegant Victor, 12 to 1 shot, Jason Ben. Number 4 is Manashar, Johnny Murtagh, 4 to 1. Now remember, Mantari won this race. Johnny Murtagh, carrying the colours of the Aga Khan, won this race by 10 lengths last year. Manashar, a 4 to 1 shot. Will that horse go on the rain-softened ground? And number 5, the complete outsider, Sugarhawk, Benji Coogan rides this at 50 to 1. So let's go live to the Curragh. They're going in the stalls, 7 furlongs in front of them. This is the outsider, Sugar Hawk. Let's pick up the commentary of RTE.
For all 5, the the fifth home gets 3,000 quid. So well done to the Cougans for seeing that if you're not in, you can't win. And that's the old saying that time and time again pays off. I think a lot of people thought that there'd be runners from England. They haven't come, so just the 5. Let's see how they get on. Tony?
Almost ready for the Group 1 National Stakes. The favourite nearest to us, Desert Style and Walter Swinburne. I think the one that's to go is Definite Article. The recent Galway winner, Michael Canaan, locked in, stall number 4. 7 furlongs ahead of them. They're off. Elegant Victor didn't break too smartly there. Gave away a few lengths at the start. Manashar in the green colours on the left. Definite Article alongside. Desert Style in the two-tone blue colours. And they're followed on the outside by Elegant Victor and Suga Hawk. The 50-to-1 chance is the back marker of the 5 as they race through the first furlong, and Definite Article goes on from Elegant Victor. The slow-starting Elegant Victor moving up now alongside the Canaan-ridden runner on the far side. Then in third is Desert Style, the favourite. On the inside in the green colours, Johnny Murta on Manashar, and bringing up the rear, Suga Hawk and Benji Coogan as they come up now towards the 4-furlong pole, and Elegant Victor goes on by 3/4 of a length. In second place is Definite Article. Just in behind these is Desert Style. Manashar tracks Definite Article towards the left. Suga Hawk on the extreme right, and last of the 5 as they come to the 3-furlong pole now. Elegant Victor, Definite Article on the inside. Desert Style being wound up now by Walter Swinburne. Manashar's going well just in behind the leaders on the far side, but it's Elegant Victor and Definite Article. Manashar's coming through the gap between them. Desert Style is being asked for an effort now and still has a bit to do. They're inside the 2. Manashar coming there in the centre. Definite Article on the far side. Elegant Victor, Desert Style out in the centre of the track. They're coming to the furlong pole of the National Stakes, and Manashar has come through to put its head in front of Definite Article. Desert Style on the near side, not making much impression. Elegant Victor fading, but it's Manashar in front. Definite Article fighting back on the rails. They fight it out as they race into the closing stages. Definite Article on the far side fighting back as they go to the light. Definite Article rallies and goes on close home to win it by about 3/4 of a length. Manashar second. Desert Style a big disappointment third. Elegant Victor a good 4th, and they're a long way clear of Suga Hawk, who picks up $3 grand for finishing last of the 5 runners. So a Group 1 win here for Moyclair Stud Farm. Dermot Weld and Michael Canaan. Definite Article the 4-to-1 winner of the National Stakes after Manashar had come to take him. Definite Article fought back, and the writing on the wall, I'm afraid, for Desert Style some way from the finish.
Well, Manasar came between both Elegant Victor and the winner, Definite Article, to absolutely skate in here. He's a double handful. Mick Canaan is pushing and shoving on Definite Article, who looks more a 3-year-old than a 2-year-old. Manasar comes with a double handful, but a bit like when he was at Ferry House, when he got to the front, he did no more. He's a Larry bugger, sticks his head into John Murta's face and finds absolutely, or practically nothing off the bridle. In the other hand, Mick Canaan, when he gets a few left backhanders with his left hand into Definite Article, he puts his head down and he runs. A bit of guts about this fella, and he goes all the way to the line and beats the other fella by about a half a length. Manasar had the win.
Main and 12-to-1 bar.
And it's Bajan Rose that goes into the lead now from, in second place, Painted Madam. None going better at this stage than Loyalize, the horse with the noseband. Germain ridden along. Regal Fanfare under pressure going nowhere. What are the odds on Loyalize? Any chance to get on in running? 1.5 to go. Goes into the lead. Bajan Rose in second place. Painted Madam back in third. Germain in 4 and staying on. Regal Fanfare behind this. And it's Loyalize, the 2-to-1 favourite. Striding 4-5 clear of Painted Madam as they race up towards the line. It's a listed race, and they're all going to take second, third and fourth place to Loyalize, because Loyalize is the winner.
A really fluent and impressive winner there. Now, Mac and I had a bit of a disagreement.
7-to-1 Shujan, 8-to-1 from 10 Discord, 9-to-1 Bet on the Side, 12-to-1 George Dillingham, 14-to-1 Golden Arrow and Tudor Island, 16-to-1 Started Jack and Warm Spell, 20-to-1 Googly, having touched 16, and Land Afar, 25-to-1 Crazy for You and Shadow Leader, and 33-to-1 Ivers Flutter. So a real old-fashioned, wide-open handicap, and this is the horse that all the punters will be looking at, because he goes for this unique treble today. No horse in history has ever won the Newbury Autumn Cup in 3 successive years, but this horse loves Newbury, he loves soft going, and he's got all the courage in the world.
Bagolino on the near side. Justice coming there with a run also. Just in behind them, Castoret, last year's winner, putting in a good run, but it's Bagolino under strong pressure from Castoret, improving all the time on the far side. Justice on the near side, Bagolino from Castoret. Castoret beginning to get up on the far side. Last year's winner takes it up now. Castoret racing up towards the line. Looks like winning it in successive years. Castoret has won it quite cozily in a photo finish.
What a battler he is, and David Harrison's ridden him in both of his 2 successes in the race, and he's in form because he won his last race at Newmarket, a Lady Riders race ridden by Eve Johnson-Horton.
He's got everything going for him today, Julian. In fact, he's got the ground he likes. He's a lovely ride too. You can ride him from off the pace or up near the front, and I think he's going to take a lot of beating. I'd like to see him get into the record books, as you say, by winning his 3rd Newbury Autumn Cup.
His market rival is a filly, Caladese.
And Golden Arrow up there in the early stages. Warm Spell, Crazy View, Shujan going up to join him. Golden Arrow and Land of Far, Caladese just in behind him, and then comes Shadow Leader. Behind Shadow Leader is Tudor Island. The back marker at the moment is Statajack. And it's Shujan who's taking him along from Golden Arrow. Then Crazy View and Warm Spell and Land of Far. And behind them, Shadow Leader. Behind Shadow Leader is Caladese, but on the inside, Tudor Island. And behind them, Castoret. And then George Dillingham, with still the back marker Statajack. And Googly, one from last. And just one ahead of them is Bit on the Side. And Shujan has set up a commanding lead now. Shujan, as they race towards the top turn, from Crazy For You and Golden Arrow and Land of Far and Warm Spell and Shadow Leader. Then a little gap to Caladese, and on the inside Tudor Island and George Dillingham. Just behind George Dillingham is New Reputation. Shujan clear of Crazy View second now. Then comes Golden Arrow in third. On the outside of Golden Arrow is Shadow Leader. Just in behind them, Warm Spell, and then Land of Far. Behind Land of Far is Caladese, the favorite, and behind Caladese is Tudor Island as they swing now into the home straight in the Tote Autumn Handicap. And it's still Shujan making it from Crazy For You and Shadow Leader as they race now towards the half-mile pole. Shujan, Crazy For You, Shadow Leader, Warm Spell just in behind them. Then Castoret making a little bit of ground in the center of the course. Land of Far not out of it. Also making ground now is the favorite Caladese. They're coming down towards the 3 furlong pole, and Warm Spell has taken it up now. Warm Spell from Shadow Leader beginning to fade a little over on the far side. Shujan still maintaining his competitive gallop, and then comes Golden Arrow, then New Reputation, and then on the near side Tudor Island at the 2 furlong pole. Warm Spell is the leader from Golden Arrow. Shujan on the near side, Tudor Island. In behind them, New Reputation coming down towards the furlong pole. And it's Warm Spell still the leader from Golden Arrow and Tudor Island on the near side. Warm Spell, Golden Arrow, Tudor Island, New Reputation as they race up towards the line. It's Warm Spell from Tudor Island as they race to the line. Warm Spell's going to win it at the line. Warm Spell is the winner. Tudor Island is second, third, New Reputation. 4 came Golden Arrow, and behind Golden Arrow was Bit on the Side. And so the result of the Tote Autumn Handicap is first, number 13, Warm Spell, owned by Mr. Ken Hickson, trained by Gary Moore and written by Brian Rouse. Second was number 15, Tudor Island, owned by Mr. David Seif, trained by Clive Britton and written by Michael Roberts. And third, number 9, New Reputation, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained by Barry Hills and written by Michael Hills. Officially, it's a photograph for 4th place, but I think we'll find that Golden Arrow secured the minor berth.
Cross 2 or 3 of them there. Is that Craigie Boy? I think she's hampered. Certainly not done him any favours. Remember how close he got. He in turn, as he comes back, bumps her. Now, let's go through it from up front. On the far side with a noseband is Gilt Throne, almost every chance. Coming in between him is Mick Easterby's, another of Mick Easterby's representatives, Mado Canny, pricking her ears and just idling a little bit. Master of Passion in pink rallying this side, and he prevails. Craigie Boy Blinkers, remember he got that awful bump, he must have won but for that. And this side, Jato. Master of Passion has it.
And Master of Passion, a 40-to-1 chance, when 18th in the Ladbroke Gold Cup last year, wins the minor event at half those odds, return to score. 20-to-1, Master of Passion, drawn 8. Very, very close for second, as Gigi called. Mado Canny's involved. That's double carpet, 33-to-1. Very close, involving Jato as well. That was a 25-to-1 chance. And the well-backed Craigie Boy, who's returned at 7-to-1. And look with the draw
towards Master of Passion, and then straightened out by Lee Newton and going the other way. But the damage he caused, or she caused, a filly, Nathan Lass, was to the one behind, the one in blinkers. So as we go down to the line now, the runners having that shenanigans having been sorted out, running reasonably straight. Master of Passion, Michael Tebbett, just drifting a little bit to his right. Michael got his whip in his right hand, and he prevails. It was a thrilling start. It's Master of
there today. Nice breeze, and there's a ferry coming in from Ireland, or heading its way to Ireland, and we'll be heading off to Ireland in about 10 minutes for the Irish St. Leger with Vintage Crop and Bob's Return in a head-to-head clash. We have news from Catterick.
Sip of time to try and make the running, and through the first furlong indeed gets to the lead. But Pearl Kite is trying to go with it. They're too clear of Key to My Heart, and behind Key to My Heart is Dancing Bloom. Race away then through the first quarter mile or so, and it's Sip of Time. Normally races freely and with enthusiasm, the leader by a length. To Pearl Kite in second, who's been running in group class. The gap of 3 lengths to Key to My Heart, who Derek has already said, is entered in the Melbourne Cup. And the back marker is the uneasy favourite, Dancing Bloom, 4th of 4, about 5 lengths off the pace, which is being set by Sieve of Time, and no slouch. Pearl Kite the inside is within about a length, if not closer, as they continue their journey down the far side. A gap of 3 lengths then to Key to My Heart, and Dancing Bloom is 4th of 4. And they continue their journey on the far side of the track. It's Sieve of Time racing out wide, then Pearl Kite in second with a red and white stripe cap. Gap of 2 lengths then to Key to My Heart, and the length back to Dancing Bloom, and Willie Carson just being niggling along on this saddle as well as Philly. And they start the turn in, and there's about 3 lengths between them now. And Dancing Bloom, 4th of 4, return the even money favourite. Pearl Kite at 11 to 4, Key to My Heart 9 to 2, and the front runner Sieve of Time at 9 to 1. They're closing in now, and now she's on slightly better ground, this Dancing Bloom, certainly getting closer and going well from left to right. It's Sieve of Time, the white and red colours Pearl Kite, on the right Dancing Bloom, and giving a lead to Key to My Heart. Down the straight they come, just 2.5 to go. On the left, under pressure, Sieve of Time, but Dancing Bloom goes into the lead. Key to My Heart is after her, though, and it's a race now between these two as they pass the two. And Key to My Heart and Jason Weaver on the right has just got the first one on Dancing Bloom. They meet rising ground with a furlong to go, and it's Key to My Heart really digging deep. Here comes Dancing Bloom rallying. They're leaving the other two behind, and Dancing Bloom going on to Key to My Heart, who tried to steal the race and is rallying as the post comes, but Dancing Bloom, despite that unease in the market, storms home a length and a half for the good. Dancing Bloom, Key to My Heart, a big break to Pearl Kite, and then came home Sieve of Time, 4th of 4, confirmation of the result.
3 is Portrait Gallery, ridden by Pat Gilson, double carpet 33s. Then the favourite, number 4, Vintage Crop, Michael Kinane, aiming to become the first horse to win 2 successive classics, 6 to 4 in 2 different years. That's the favourite. Number 5, Clifton Gale, the outsider, Pat Shanahan, 33 to 1. Number 6, Kithanga. John Reed's got off the favourite in the Air Gold Cup to go and ride Kithanga, runner-up in the Phillies St. Leger last week at the the Park Hill at Doncaster, 7 to 2. Number 7 is Race Seeker, Johnny Murter, a 14 to 1 shot, and number 8 is Gothic Dream, ridden by Christy Roach at 7 to 1. Well, it's a cracking race, this, I tell you. They've won over 1.5.
The outside, Vintage Crop and
On the near side, George Augustus. Ibac's dropped away. Blue Judges struggling for C is behind them. George Augustus on the near side of Vintage Crop now as they race towards the final furlong. George Augustus and Vintage Crop together. Vintage Crop the far rail. George Augustus the near side. They're a long way clear of the rest inside the last 100.